It's time to kick it off. I'm going to keep all of you on camera for this segment. We've got 5 games to get to, so let's keep it tight. Let's start in the AFC East, a massive showdown. Who would have thought we were going to say this at week 15? Raphael, start with you. If any line movement here, the Bills and the Patriots, what do you got for this?
Not yet, but I do believe we'll see some 50-50 action coming in all week. I think New England betting action will probably conquer during the weekend. I can see the total moving up because I think the way the Bills offense looked in that snowy game, I think the total is probably going to land anywhere between 50 or 51. But I think New England will probably close around 1.5 point favorites.
Peyton, your take on these numbers to start off week 15.
It's weird. I mean, the Bills are a completely different team on the road. They're a 500 team on the road, 6-1 at home. The Pats are undefeated on the road. Their only 2 losses are at home. That being said, how are the Bills favored? This isn't 2023, 2024 anymore. I'm tired of the books treating it like it is. They did it last night to the Eagles, making them 2.5 point favorites against a good Chargers team. I don't agree with this line. I'm going to take the Pats every time in this game. Give me them on the money line.
Soupy, I'm going to look at the total here 49.5. We saw the Bills put up plenty of points in the snow, but do you agree with Peyton? And what are your thoughts on the total here?
Last week I went with the under in that Bills Bengals game. I was completely wrong. I thought it was going to be more of a run centric game with that snowy weather. That's not what happened. I think this is going to be a more of an air it out between Drake May and Josh Allen, two guys who have been very electric this year. But Mike Vrabel getting that extra week of rest, I'm more confident in that, especially with the Bills. They've just been too inconsistent throughout the year, so I'm taking the Pats.
Yeah, who would have known Ty Johnson? Listen, Subi, you were right for a moment. It was a good run fest, and then Ty Johnson got tripped up by the snow monster, and then they decided to go through the air. So, massive showdown in the AFC East. And guys, nobody tell coach, but when I get to sit in the host chair, I get to make the picks of the game. So, our second game of the week, the Chicago Bears back home, taking on the Cleveland Browns and Shador Sanders, who we just spoke about. This is a big game for Chicago. You cannot start a losing streak at this point in the season. Now, the Bears heavily favored, but Peyton, should they be?
Well, yeah, the Bears definitely can't start a losing streak, something they have done in recent years. But Shador looked great last week, but it was the Titans defense, and Sloopy could throw for 200 against the Titans. It's a completely different Bears defense, and who actually looked really good at Lambeau. They just lost by 1 touchdown, literally came down to the last play of the game. So props to the Bears and how they looked last week against a really good Packers team at Lambeau. Give me the Bears in this game at home.
Soupy, the Bears did do a very good job on Micah Parsons, who said he was annoyed having to run all over the field after Caleb Williams. But all due respect to Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett is having an incredible year. What do you make of this team and the number at 40 and a half?
I'm thinking about that. It feels like a trap game. I'm sorry, Mikey. It feels like a trap. I feel like the Browns are going to put their best effort in, but one of the best run defenses Cleveland has, but they just allowed 184 yards on the ground to the Titans. And now you got DeAndre Swift and Kyle Manungai, who have ran for over 200 and almost 300 yards in the past 2 games. I think they'll be able to get that run game going. And I think they can win this game, but I don't think they're going to cover. If I want to take it, I'm going to tease the Bears down, and I'm actually going to take this over 40.
All right, Raphael, 7.5 is the line right now. What do you expect this line to close at?
Well, I'll be calling you to see what the weather is going to be in this game because there's going to be some weather, cold wind, maybe some snow flurries. That's why the total is 40 and a half. I'm just worried about the Bears' mentality of that loss in Lambeau, playing great all the whole game and then just let it slip away. This is something that maybe Cleveland can bite them and maybe Bears only win by a field goal. I had the Bears winning, but it's going to be a nail biter and it's probably going to be a low scoring game.
I can agree with that. The thing for me is the Bears picked it up in the second half against the Green Bay Packers. You can look back at Caleb Williams' interception. And there were a few options, but as Ben Johnson said on Monday, he took the best option and just underthrew the ball. I'm very interested to see how this game goes. That 7.5 is a little risky for me. So I think I may like the over more than anything because I do believe the Bears can put up 30 points on this Browns defense. All right, guys, game number 3 here. And there's so many high level games. We're going to start with the Colts and the Seahawks. We have to put this game on there no matter who the quarterback is because this is basically the season for the Colts, Peyton.
Yeah, all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, right? This is a Colts team a couple weeks ago that we're thinking, oh, it's gonna be one of the best teams in football. They're going to the postseason, all this, and what a turnaround for them, man. No quarterbacks now after they just had one of the best in Daniel Jones, who absolutely carried my fantasy team through its fantasy season. However, he goes down, gave me point 0.8 points, and completely ruined me in the first round of my fantasy playoffs. But as you can tell, I'm totally over it. Colts really looking really looking to shock the world here. Minus 1,000 for the Seahawks. I think they blow them out.
Soupy, we've seen the Seahawks defense just dominate. I feel bad Max Brosmer gets his first NFL start and it's against this Seahawks defense. I don't know who's starting at quarterback for the Colts, but at this point, doesn't matter.
I think that the Seahawks, we're not talking about them enough. I think this team is clicking on both sides of the ball. Sam Darnold is looking great with JSN. JSN, he's got the most receiving yards in the league. You mentioned that defense. They are top 5 in takeaways, they are 5th in run defense. The Colts just went against Jacksonville and they couldn't do anything against the best run defense in football. Now they got to face another tough defensive opponent. They're going to try to give JT that ball. He's not going anywhere. This is a big spread, but I'm taking the Seahawks minus 13 and a half.
Raphael, do you agree with that from Soupy? It is a very big spread, but again, we don't know who's playing quarterback in Indianapolis this week.
Yeah, last time I checked, you need a quarterback to win a game. And a week ago today, this number would have been Seattle minus 3.5. Now the Colts have one of us can go to Indy and be a quarterback, and the number is now 13.5. That just tells the viewer and the better there's no chance the Colts are going to probably win this game unless Taylor can throw a ball and run the ball. 13.5 seems small. I think this one gets bet all the way up to maybe even 16.
That would be a huge swing. Who knew Daniel Jones was worth so much? All right, guys. The second of 3 big matchups in the NFC North, one of the most competitive divisions in football. We'll see the Green Bay Packers traveling to Denver, and what I believe, taking all my fandom aside, is the most entertaining matchup of the week. Peyton, Packers on the road going to Denver. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be a defensive battle here. I mean, we haven't seen Jordan Love really cook that much lately out there. It's been the Packers defense. You mentioned how great Micah Parsons has been. That's been the Packers all year this season. And the Broncos, same deal. Bo Nix has just done enough to get the Denver Broncos to win football games. Packers, on the other hand, have won 4 straight. They look really good as well, but Denver's just been absolutely dominant. And this game's in Denver, a really tough environment to play in for a road team. Give me the Broncos in this game.
Soupy, when you have 2 high elite level defenses, this number at 43.5, could it be the opposite where this game does go to the over, or are you taking the under here?
I got to take the under. I'm looking. They both have really good offensive lines. Packers have one of the best pass rushes in the league, but they got stopped by the Chicago last week, and I think Denver can do the same. I think we're going to see a big stalemate with both sides of the ball. I think both teams barely get over 20 points.
Raphael, huge game for both teams in their respective divisions. Broncos continue to ride high, but the Chargers are right behind them. Your thoughts on this one?
We've all seen this movie before. Love has a great game, and then what does he do next? He has a dud. Bo Nix outshines Love in this one. I love Denver getting the plus points. I'm hoping it goes to 3, or even, this is maybe one. Maybe you buy it now to 3 because I don't think we'll see a 3. But Denver wins this game. I love the Broncos on Sunday.
I'm going to be a little petty machete, Raphael. I agree with you. I'm a believer this week. And let's look at our final game ahead for week 15. The Lions and the Rams, another team out west that I got to believe in. Peyton, no Brian Branch, who tore his Achilles for this Lions defense. Will Matthew Stafford just pick them apart?
Without question. I think the Lions do the same to the Rams. I think this is going to be a really big, high scoring game, but the Rams are just so good from too many different places. Kyron Williams and Blake Corum have just been ridiculous lately. Blake Corum, 128 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. What a day. Him to do that at running back two, that's pretty darn impressive. And for the Rams, it's kind of the opposite way. It's the pass opens up the run for them with how good Stafford can throw. Makes it so much easier for this Rams offense to get going. I think they put up big numbers against the Lions. Give me the Rams this week.
Soupy, 55.5. Are you at Peyton? Do you see a high scoring affair?
I believe that the last few years we were going to see high scoring games. It hasn't gone to that level over the last couple of matchups. They've all a couple of them gone under 50 points, but both offenses can put up 40 points each. Both did it last week, but to me, the Rams just look consistently good. Besides that game against the Panthers, the Rams have been able to come out every single week and put up points. We've seen more inconsistencies with the Lions. That's why I don't mind taking the Rams -6.
Raphael, got about 30 seconds for you.
Number one opened up at 4.5, got bet to 6. There's a reason why that number got bet up. I like the Rams. There's a learning lesson they learned against Carolina.
Yeah, and I look at this game, guys. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I need the Lions to win the game.